So for pre-event, I think it's really important to know who your internal stakeholders are and make sure that you have a message that resonates, but also that everyone's aware of that message. I think it's really easy as an event marketer to get honed in on all the logistics details of where's my internet drop, what does my branding look like. It's really important to say, okay, Saligo is showing up at this event. What is my message to this specific audience? Because it's usually a very specific group of people. What do I want to say to these people? What do I want them to know about us? What do I want to say? So what we do at Saligo is we get a cross-functional team. We usually have sales, solution consultants, usually a marketing person, a partner relationship person, and each person knows their roles and responsibilities. And I think I provided a slide, Kelly, on what that pre-event playbook looks like. If you want to pull that up, you're welcome to. But we do like a pre-event playbook call a couple weeks in advance of the actual event. So we'll go into, okay, yes, thank you. So we'll go into like your basic logistics, like here's where our booth is, here's what's going on, but also roles and responsibilities. So-and-so is responsible for kind of triaging and scanning people. If they're a customer, they go to Megan. If they're, a prospect, they go to Kayla, that sort of thing. So really knowing like who should be talking to who and what that overall message is. And then talk tracks. If you have a new product or if there's a challenge that continually comes up, make sure that's in your talk track. Knowing that target audience and what your plan is for each of those segments. So what are you saying to the customer versus the prospect versus the partner? So for a lot of my events, those are sponsored events where we're not generally hosting. So it's really understanding who's going to be there and what you're going to say. I particularly focus on partners quite a bit. So for a space like Microsoft, they're like 99.9% channel run. So it's really important that our channel partner message is really clear. We want to know who we're going to meet with when. So also planning meetings in advance and bringing them into the booth. So not just signing up for a sponsorship and hoping people are going to show up, but really planning that promotion in advance, like who you want to talk to, what's your target list, going back to the data. Another thing, it's really important to have kind of a PIC. So whether that's your event manager, your marketing manager, whoever is kind of your point of contact on site, that's really important to know ahead of time, their contact information. If you have, a group text where you can all connect or a Slack group, we usually do Slack groups. One thing I did this year at Microsoft Community Summit that was really helpful was I pre-planned posts. So every day of the conference, I had a day of schedule. So day one, this is what's happening. We have our session at 10, booth time starts at this, so on and so forth. So instead of people coming and asking me all the time, like, what's the schedule for today? They just had it automatically sent out. And I was able to schedule those in advance, which was awesome, super helpful. Very far cry from 5 or 6 years ago when I would print out my playbook and keep it at the booth. So this is a really nice change. When I say additional activities, those are client dinners that you do with partners. Maybe you have a specific prospect event or happy hour that you're doing on the side. I think it's really important to kind of double down on the audience that's going to be there for the conference. So doing little ancillary events outside of what's actually happening, those are great opportunities to really connect with people. So that's my very long-winded spiel for pre-event. During the event, just making sure that you're maximizing your booth space.